I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to get this piece out without cutting the mould. Leaving it overnight, it may have made it easier to pull out, but I doubt it, so I'll give it one try and then I might have to cut the mould. First thing I will try is cut the end off the mould. So I'm going to cut just about 10mm in from the end, bring it all the way around, and then see if I can get a purchase, and if that's enough leverage to get the entire mould out, then I could potentially repair the end plate.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
It's looking more and more likely that I will have to destroy this mould, so I'm hoping that I won't damage the wing too much that I can't repair it, and also that I don't smash it off straight away, because I'd have to make another one or change it up. But there's a lot of work, obviously, as you've seen, that's gone into making this. But yeah, the parallel lines is not good on the fins, so lesson learnt.
It sound right, boys.
Well, I don't know what to say, but the mould is knackered. This panel was never going to come out amazingly anyway because of the shape of it, so there would have been repairs to do. And luckily I made the top of the fins really thick with fiberglass, so none of the actual cuts in the panel have gone through, so the strength is still there. Good news is the thickness overall is really good. It's very light, which I want, so when it's got the base to reinforce it and it's been filled, prepped and primed, then we won't even know how bad this has turned out. You can see how the hot water treatment got, how far it got down the inside of the panel, but there's no way you can tell. Even just trying to get these sections out individually was pretty difficult, so it would have never come out in one piece. The next pieces I need to make are the bases for the rear wings. So this I can use as a template, and then I can trim down to make the exact fitment to fit the inside of each wing.
It sound right, boy.
It sound right, boys. It sound right, boy.
while I wait for that resin to dry, I can go ahead and start removing the front end. I can take the front bumper and wings out. I'm happy with all the panels I have, so I can take the front end apart. I think it's time for a good clear up in here. It's getting pretty messy, as you can see. There's a lot of waste to get rid of, so I will have a good square up. It was relatively easy to get the rear quarter off. I just have to go and touch up this area now and carefully take off the rest of the filler. As you can see, I didn't prep the front end of the car very well when I sprayed it, so I left the Subaru primer, factory primer on, and it was really smooth and I didn't rough it up enough, so I'm going to respray the front end engine bay just up until the door line. Even though we've done most of the aero for this project, there is still the back to consider. So I am going to focus on this section rather than make the clip for the front end to mount all the front panels. I will make a start on building the rear wing. That will ultimately determine where it's going to be mounted on the boot. and then from there I can decide how much room I'll have underneath the rear wing to make the holes in the window for the ventilation for the radiator, and then that will ultimately decide where the shroud will go on the rear. And then there's a couple more pieces I want to make that will kind of tie the rear arches and the rear bumper together. Before I get too far, I realised I have made one incorrect side panel. They should be pairs like that, and I've made 3 which are the same. So I will make another one of these, and then they'll go together like so. There are a few places on the top part of the wing which I want to reinforce before I seal it off, so it's a completely hollow unit. I won't be able to get to it. So I'll do all of those repairs alongside making another one of these. I have just washed the PVA off the rest of the panels that I didn't do when I pulled them from the moulds. I will now put the gel coat on the side plate of the rear wing, so tomorrow I can fiberglass that piece. I can reinforce the top part of the wing, and I can also reinforce the area around the rear quarters. I want to get the arches a bit stronger.